Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've been back on here. Took a little hiatus, a break from uploading and talking about stuff, just to kind of focus on my life and stabilize a bunch of different things, and just so I've been off of YouTube for almost 5 months. So I think mid-August was the last time I was on here, and I'm just happy to come back and share some of the insights that I have, and also really go back into what I share here as an introduction to movement in the many forms that I like to practice it myself, and I'd like to kind of just read off a list of some things of how I see it, and just different ways that have helped me, and simplifying it so that anyone can practice it, anyone can pick up these basic aspects. So I appreciate you guys being patient, sticking around, staying subscribed and everything, and I'm happy to be sharing more again, because there's a lot of things that I feel like I've picked up over the years, and it's definitely helped to be very inwardly focused on that. So today I'm by the river. It's pretty beautiful out. Got the sun shining strong, and there's like some calm areas of the water, and it's flowing pretty slow today. So that's probably going to be the pace of this video, is slow and steady, but we'll keep it pretty simple, pretty surface level. So one thing that I would like to say is I will be starting new classes again for those who are interested. If you're interested in joining online classes or workshops, please comment, send me a message or an email. My email is grantbigmoves@gmail.com, and you can send me an email about a lot of different things. I might not have time to answer like super in-depth questions and stuff about diet. I haven't been really focused on like sharing about that, and that's just that's a whole long story in itself. That is what this channel used to be about, but it's not really what it is anymore. So it's just going to be much more focused on movement, and so the different realms of movement that I'll be focusing on are pattern-based movement, things like climbing, crawling, jumping, balancing, carrying heavy things in different ways. We're going to focus on calisthenics, lifting movements for strength. We're going to focus on different mobility exercises to relax your body, release tension, and restorative movement that is just much gentler. It's still active in a way, but you're allowing yourself to really release that tension. And then primal flow movements. That's gonna really involve basically anything that is along a more expressive side. So it's not like all super functional, but it is functional in the way of I'm getting to feel these different patterns and planes that I can move through. So you think about 3 dimensions of movement. You can move forward, to the side, across. You can move different angles and widths and lengths of push and pull and stepping. And so I'd like to illustrate that understanding of moving through all the different dimensions with tension. So it's like actually actively pressing your limbs out into space or against an object or something. I'm pulling my arm into this tree, where I'm pushing my hands into the log underneath of me. So just like loosening these areas of the body, understanding that as you're doing it, we're really going into like the spine, the hips, the shoulders, these big areas and big joints that, and multi-joint areas of the body where we can store a lot of tension or be weak. So it's starting to understand that for your own self, your own body, and it's very nuanced. So that's something I can't really easily describe with just words right now, but it's something I'll demonstrate, and I have demonstrated, but I haven't always put words to it. So that's like a whole form in itself, primal movements. Then we'll talk about partner moves. So a lot of that partner movement is going to be similar to the primal movement, but now you have another person, so you can interact with how they're moving through space and, react and act according to, what just either is the intention of the exercise or, it's some kind of dance. So it's like very intuitive. So I shift this way because they shifted this way, or I want to surprise them and shift this way. And so we might have our hands together, we might use a staff between us, we might use a rope, we might, just be mirroring each other, spaced apart, doing different movements. So yeah, there's all those kind of partner movements and things. And then, getting into resilience, endurance kind of training with running, hiking, heavy carries, rucksacks, putting a heavy ruck or backpack on your back and going for a certain distance or time or intensity or speed, all of that. So building resilience in many ways, because as you're going on a long run or a long hike, you're carrying 100 pounds over like even just a quarter of a mile, which a lot of people can't do. It's like that kind of training, that kind of movement, like, where you are going for a certain pace. It's cardiovascular, but it's also like a lot of muscular postural strength. The load is like weighing down on you. Or if you're like sprinting or you're running really fast and you're trying to keep that pace for like 2 miles, and it's a hard pace to keep, then you push through physical, mental, emotional, spiritual barriers, even social barriers, like just the way we think about ourselves around other people. And that's why I think a lot of people, they get self-conscious in the gym, they get self-conscious even like, I do sometimes too. A lot of times I'll be running on the trail and I'm like, oh, this looks too crazy, like people will judge me for doing this, but it's really like, it's about what you are intending and bringing to your practice. And you shouldn't have to like, change the way that you're doing things that are helping you grow and in effect helping other people grow, because people who need that inspiration and motivation are going to look to you. So resilience training, also obstacle courses, I've really been doing those since 2014, and so elite obstacle course racer, and I volunteered and helped build a bunch of courses and things. Just helped, encourage people along the course. You get a free race a lot of times, you volunteer. But I went to the World Championships 5 times for OCR, or obstacle course racing, and it's really an incredible time. You learn so much about your body, your mind, like, you have a lot of fun. So you learn about your heart, in that way. It's like doing things that are challenging so that you can feel that reward of, I'm made of something strong and resilient and courageous, and then that goes into the next and final part of this. These are going to be all introduction series on YouTube, and I'll be going deeper in detail through Patreon. I'm gonna open that up again soon. I have just a better plan of how to do it, and it's gonna be more educational than in times I've done Patreon in the past. So it's gonna be a lot of education on all of these different kinds of movement. So this last one is mission-based movement. So it's like, you know, say I want to go to the grocery store and I didn't get a walk-in for the day, or a run or whatever, or a ruck, you know. So I'm just gonna go to the grocery store with 30 pounds in my bag, and I'm gonna bring my groceries back in the bag, and that's gonna be a nice little kind of mini training, and it's also a little mission for the day. So, you know, thinking about movement in ways that directly applies to our modern lives, and also, you know, instances of preparation, instances where it's like, you know, shit goes south and your car breaks down, like the nearest gas station is 3 miles away. You know, sometimes you got to figure that out, you know. So it's like, oh shit, my phone's dead or whatever. So it's learning to be able to, you know, have the skills, the strength, the endurance in situations where, you know, technology isn't working out for us. So that's really a lot of what mission-based movement is going to be about. You know, say, you know, someone gets hurt and you're hiking or you're mountain biking or something, you got to carry them back to the car. You know, they like break their leg. How are you going to carry 130, 50, 70 pound person, you know, back to the trail if you've never done it before? You're probably not, and you're probably going to have to like figure that out too, you know? So there's all kinds of ways that, you know, these things can be put into scenarios where you can learn a lot about your capabilities, and also just, you know, be put in situations where it's like, oh, I don't know actually how to get out of this, but I'm going to figure it out in the situation. Just like giving you that kind of outlook that I can solve any situation here. So that's a lot of what our, you know, mission-based movement's going to be about. And then, you know, finally, we'll also talk a little bit about planning, training, you know, all of these different aspects of movement, because, you know, some people might be more interested in the mobility, they might be more interested in the mission-based movement, might be more interested in just like, you know, trying out some of the primal movement in a way where, yeah, they don't know exactly, you know, how to do it, and they've never tried it and it just looks cool or something. So yeah, if you want to, you know, stick along, I'm going to talk more about this in the intro series in each particular category. So I'm going to be doing some weekly videos here on YouTube, and then once I'm, you know, through some of those videos, I'm going to start putting some stuff on Patreon, and you guys can subscribe there for, you know, a like monthly like membership basically. So it's like $5 a month or $10. I'm gonna figure that value out for each of the series, and you know, how deep each person wants to commit to, you know, learning and applying the content, the education, and these insights and routines that I've developed over the past few years. So yeah, that's a wrap, guys. That's what I got for you today. I appreciate you listening if you have stuck to the end of the video, or even just fast forwarded and here you are. So I hope you guys, you know, enjoy thinking about these different ways of movement. I'm gonna put it in the description as well, kind of a summary of all the stuff I talked about. And yeah, I might do a diet video at some point just to kind of close that off, as you know, this is not really what the channel's about, but I know that I understand a lot of people had questions about that. And yeah, I hope you guys get outside. You know, I think one of the simplest things we can do for ourselves is like get outside consistently and explore. That's, you know, out of the three kind of dimensions of movement, of, you know, like the biggest aspects that I could categorize it into, it's, you know, explorative movement, just like exploring distance all around, you know, where you live, and new paths, old paths, all of that stuff. You know, expressive movement, being able to tune into how your body feels, how your breath feels, you know, your energy level, your awareness, your senses, and then just being very like present with your movement. So like being able to feel exactly what you're doing with your body, and, you know, kind of creating with that. That's why it's expressive. It's like I'm creating a new, you know, in this moment, like this kind of movement, like I'm feeling that and exactly how that feels. I'm like appreciating that, feeling it deeper, being more aware of it. And there's that expansive movement, which I think is what most people think of movement as exercise, as functional, as like a training to build your capacity in whether it's strength, it's speed, stamina, you know, agility, different kinds of skills, just like that linear progression, which it's not always linear, you know, it's all kinds of different shapes, parabolas, and things like that. So yeah, that's a lot of what we'll, you know, be talking about at large. You know, explore, expand, and express with your body, creating you know, a movement lifestyle that you enjoy and can sustain and isn't like, you know, wearing you down too much. You know, we want challenges, we want periods of our lives where, you know, we do choose to really like put in work, but we also, you know, for the larger part of our lives, we've got to find things that are sustainable and, you know, aren't going to just like wear us down and wear our resources down. Things that are, you know, simple, like you can go for a walk every day, you can find that peace in your body, in your environment, and really enjoy that. So thanks guys again, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. I'll put up another video next week, and yeah, just much gratitude to you guys, and that's it. Peace out, love, vision, and strength.